Hi there. Today on Dad's Train Room, we're going to be talking about our desert table. I introduced this earlier as streams in the desert. I know there's only one stream, and it's more of a river than a stream, but it's in memory of some friends of mine that do really good work in Mongolia, helping people out and spreading the word of God. It is wonderful. Today on this layout, we're going to be doing a couple things. We're going to be talking about the basics on how to make a stream. We're going to be talking about the desert and how to bring the desert to life. We're even going to talk about how to do minor repairs to the table because, like I said before, we tear them down, we move them, we show them at shows, and sometimes they get a little bumped and bruised along the way, and we have to do a little touch-up afterwards. So, let's dive in. In Mongolia, most people live in gyrs. Other people, especially in the West, know them as yurts. This is a model of a gyr that I made from pictures that I took there and talking to friends. This is a 6-panel gyr and our little covering that goes over top of it. And you'll even notice I left a little cross on the door in honor of my friends that are doing great work there. Up to 6 panels for a gyr you can move with 1 camel. You can go up to 8, but you need 2 camels to carry those. Little fun fact. Most people don't know this, but a great deal of the fossils in the world actually come from Mongolia. That's why we always like to put in a little Easter egg. Now, where did I leave that Easter egg? It's around it. Whoa!
Roar, roar. Hey, Dad.
Here on our streams in the desert table, you'll notice a couple little things like I have the sand dune that goes over top of the train tracks. So, we have a little workman. And he's there to clear the tracks so that the train can get through. We also have other little things that we throw in there, little Easter eggs, like a Tyrannosaurus Rex head. Roar! This goes right here, so that all the kids can see it. For the stream, I basically cut this out down level with the table, laid down some plaster cloth. Because of how shallow it is, because of the bridge and the existing 3/4 inch that I had already, I spray painted in a gravel paint, nice little flecks, and then I sprinkled in these little stones. This reminds me of one of the rivers that I saw when I was there, and I was really taken aback. It was very shallow. You could easily walk across it without getting your waist wet. I even set it up where some of the stones pop up in the middle to give it a little texture. Now when I poured the resin for the river, it was all nice and glossy and looked real pretty and smooth. So I went back with Mod Podge and a paintbrush and dabbed it as I went. Since it dried clear, it gave it a nice ripply texture that you can actually feel. And when you look at it, you can kind of see. And with the rocks popping out here and there, it gives it more of a life, more of a dimension. Now, to give a little life to our stream, it's good to have something interesting about it. In this case, we have a camel walking up to the stream to take a drink. I even made this little camel. This is an experiment. I was going to get rid of it, but my friends in Mongolia liked it and they called it the cute little baby camel. So we'll be painting this and we'll make it following the mama right there. It's also good to have other interests like, say, a hiker. We're going to put him right here. And maybe even a photographer taking pictures of the camel and the streams, just like that. This really, the little details is what brings layouts to life. They make it interesting and they give you things to talk about with other people. As I mentioned earlier, there are some spots on here that got a little abuse. Chips in the paint. So, we're going to be using Desert Sand Touch-Up Paint. And we'll just go back over this. Once I put sidings on the tables, this won't be as much of a problem. But I kind of like for people to see how it's made in the first place. Because as you noticed, about half of our table is not even finished yet. And that's a good thing. When we go to the shows, people get to be part of us putting it together and get to experience it with us in a way. It's kind of fun. In the desert, sometimes people get so hot and so thirsty that they start imagining that they see something like water right in front of them. This is called a mirage, and there are a lot of reasons for it, but most people say that what they're seeing is the thing that they want the most. They want water, so they see water. I always wondered what would happen if you wanted something else in the desert.
How you like my mirage, Dad?
That's all the time we have today for Dad's Train Room. I'd like to invite everybody to please come to our channel, Dad's Train Room channel, and take a look around. See what you think. We'd really like it if you'd leave us a comment or subscribe. My son says it's really cool.
Hey Dad, why is there a snowman in the middle of the river?
I'm glad you asked that, Linus. I put that there to remind you that snowman's an island.
Ugh, dad jokes are the worst.